Hello, this is Brett Fogle, founder of Moonstream Crypto. Remember the story I shared back in December of 2022, the one where I handed Tony DeGallipoli, the founder of BitPay, $20 in cash at a restaurant bar in 2013, and he sold me a whole Bitcoin. What I called my $20,000 happy hour back then has transformed dramatically. That same Bitcoin that was worth $64,000 at the 2021 peak and around $17,000 when I wrote the original Blood in the Streets report has now reached new highs that I had confidently predicted then, but few believed possible. At its recent peak in January of 2025, that single Bitcoin touched nearly $109,000, making it my $109,000 happy hour, just as I forecasted in my original Blood in the Streets report. Now we're experiencing another significant pullback with Bitcoin, which is trading around $84,803 currently as the time of making this video, down 22% from its all-time high after initially losing over 32% in value from the January peak, recovering somewhat today. But I was right before and I'm right again now. In late 2022, Bitcoin was hovering around 16,500, which I had correctly forecasted 5 months prior in May of 2022. People even laughed at my post on Facebook when I publicly forecast that Bitcoin would push up to 32K, then down to 22K, and further down to 16,500. But that's exactly what happened. I had identified key support levels there and confirmed a market bottom was forming. I then urged readers to prepare for what would be a huge buying opportunity, possibly of a lifetime. Those who followed my advice potentially saw their investments grow by over 400%. Imagine buying Bitcoin at 16,500 and seeing it go up over 5 times to almost $100,000. But here's what's important right now. History is repeating itself, and we're facing another critical buying opportunity as the market experiences a healthy correction within the larger bull cycle that's happening right now. The cycle of market emotions, where are we right now? In my 2022 report, I shared the cycle of investor emotions chart showing how retail investors typically buy during euphoria and sell during despair. Exactly the opposite of what successful investors generally do. Right now, we're seeing anxiety and denial in the markets. Many who bought near the recent peak are panicking as prices have fallen. Media headlines are questioning if the crypto bubble has burst again. This is precisely the emotional investing environment that creates huge opportunity, because this cycle isn't over yet, it's just getting started. Wyckoff patterns are repeating, just as I identified in 2022. We're seeing classic Wyckoff accumulation patterns forming. The big money, institutional investors, whales, and smart money is accumulating during this dip, preparing for the next leg up. Phase B was likely the push to 100K Bitcoin and the recent all-time highs. Then the subsequent markdown since January, which is Phase C, we're likely now somewhere in Phase D, gaining strength for the final push to a blow-off top, which is typical of every 4-year Bitcoin cycle. The pattern is clear: distribution at the top, which we saw in January of 2025, followed by a markdown phase where we are now coming out of, which will lead to accumulation before the next market phase takes Bitcoin to new highs. Bitcoin's 4-year halving cycle is continuing. The Bitcoin halving that occurred in April of 2024 has followed a similar historical pattern that I outlined in my original report. Each previous halving has led to significant price increases in the 12 to 18 months following the halving, but we're now approaching 12 months post-halving, and despite the recent pullback, Bitcoin is still up substantially from pre-halving levels. This is good. The current correction is perfectly normal within this cycle and sets the stage for the final leg up of the 2025 bull market. Now, global M2 liquidity is the leading indicator that you really can't ignore and what most people get wrong. One of the most reliable predictors of Bitcoin price movements that I've tracked for years is global M2 liquidity. This measure of the money supply consistently precedes Bitcoin's major price movements, acting as a leading indicator that few retail investors are even aware of. It's the true driver of what makes prices go up on risk-on assets, especially Bitcoin and crypto markets. As you can see in the chart, global M2 has been on a steady rise for the past 2 months. This is incredibly significant. The white line, which is global M2, leads the blue line Bitcoin price by approximately 12 weeks. Notice how we've already entered the bottoming zone and global M2 has begun its upward trajectory. What does this mean? It means that Bitcoin is primed to follow this liquidity expansion at any time. As this new money enters the financial system, a portion inevitably finds its way into Bitcoin and other crypto assets, driving up demand and prices. This pattern repeated consistently through Bitcoin's history, as we've seen. When global M2 expands, Bitcoin typically follows with a significant price increase 8 to 12 weeks later. We're now in that that critical window where smart money is positioning ahead of the liquidity-driven move higher. Yet this is another powerful indicator suggesting that the current dip represents an optimal entry point before the next major leg up in Bitcoin's price. Now, why this pullback is different from 2022? Unlike the 2022 bear market, which was driven by macro factors, leverage collapses, and multiple exchange failures like Terra Luna, Celsius, and FTX, today's pullback is primarily a technical correction within a bull market. Here are some facts. Institutional adoption continues to grow. Major banks, investment firms, and corporations now hold Bitcoin on their balance sheets. Regulatory clarity has also improved. The SEC's approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs in early 2024 finally legitimized the asset class as a whole. On-chain metrics also remain healthy. Long-term holders continue to accumulate, not distribute. Global economic conditions are also supportive, unlike 2022's high inflation and rising interest rates. Now, let's not forget the Netflix lesson. Don't miss out again. In my 2022 report, I shared how a $10,000 investment in Netflix would have grown to over $35 million if you had bought during the market downturns and held on. Many missed that opportunity because they were too afraid to buy when there was blood in the streets. Today, we face a similar opportunity with Bitcoin. Those who buy during this dip and hold through the next phase of the bull market stand to see substantial gains as Bitcoin potentially reaches 150,000 to 180,000 in the coming short months or more. My proprietary indicators are also now aligning to suggest we're approaching an optimal entry point once again. The very same ones that correctly called the bottom in December of 2022 and had me pounding the table to get in by January of 2023. And we know that was a great time to get in. My signals include RSI bullish divergence showing oversold conditions. Our ERI and TSI have also turned green, which are proprietary early reversal indicator and trend strength indicators. When these line up, they're amazing. The volume profile is indicating strong support at the current levels, and the Fibonacci retracement levels are showing we've hit a key retracement support called the golden pocket at 0.618 from the top. Plus, market sentiment has also been reaching extreme fear, historically a strong buy signal. So here's what to do now. This strategy remains simple yet effective. Dollar cost average. Begin allocating capital in regular intervals into Bitcoin and crypto. Focus on quality. Bitcoin and Solana, in my opinion, remain the safest bets to rise in the coming months, and just a handful of altcoins, which we won't get into here. Prepare for volatility as well. This won't be a straight line up. We could still see Bitcoin retest the 70K buy zone, but I don't think we'll go lower. Also, make sure you have an exit strategy. Know when you'll take profits along the way as we approach the 150K to 180K range. Now, don't repeat past mistakes. In 2022, many investors capitulated at the bottom, selling their Bitcoin at $16,000 or $17,000 out of fear. Those same investors watched in agony as Bitcoin climbed back above $100,000 recently. Can you imagine? Today we're seeing similar fear and capitulation at $80,000 to $85,000. Will you make the same mistake twice? I hope not. And here's what most people don't have a clue about or realize. A near-term explosion in Bitcoin price would be known as a lockout trade, meaning it can potentially go up so fast most will miss it entirely and not be willing or able to chase the price. Essentially, getting locked out of owning Bitcoin at any affordable price. I've seen it in Solana in 2021 when I recommended Sol at $35 in our newsletter. Then it shot up, never turning back, going up over 600%. Those waiting for the next pullback that never came missed that move entirely as well. The time to be paying attention is right now. As Baron Rothschild famously said, the time to buy is when there's blood in the streets. There may not be as much blood as in 2022 right now, but there's enough fear to create a significant opportunity for those with the courage to act. So here are some final thoughts. The current pullback is not the end of the bull market. It's a necessary correction before the final push to new all-time highs, I believe. My analysis suggests Bitcoin will reach 150K to 180K, potentially over $200,000 before this cycle is finally over this year. You heard me right, this year. Those who recognize this pattern and act accordingly will be rewarded the most. And as we know, fortune favors the brave. Those who succumb to fear will once again be left behind, watching from the sidelines as others make off with potentially huge profits. The choice is yours. Will you have the courage to buy when others are fearful? Here's what I recommend doing right now. Watch our new video about Moonstream Academy, where you can start watching helpful and timely investing videos, trading strategy tips, chat with other members that I have, ask me questions personally, and also access a brand new video library of the best lessons I've learned with regards to investing and trading over the last 25 years. For a limited time, there's a 7-day free trial. You can join today for 50% off the normal $97 monthly subscription price for just $97 a month, normally for $49 a month in the next couple days. Then it goes back to $97 a month. As a special bonus, I'm also going to include my interactive trade success checklist to help you easily identify which trading setups are the best, giving you a real-time score for when to enter and exit trades based on clear patterns and signals in the checklist. In case you're already a more advanced investor who would rather have access to me one-on-one to meet with on a regular basis, as well as my help in setting up an optimized and risk-reduced crypto portfolio as we go into the next phase of the bull run, as well as private coaching when you need it, visit moonstreamcoaching.com and watch the short video there. For the first offer, if you're more of a beginner to intermediate crypto investor, visit moonstreamacademy.com/start to learn more. Either way, let me know how I can help you in this market. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on what's coming next in crypto, and it's going to happen soon, probably in the next few weeks, depending on when you see this. I firmly believe all the doom posters online are dead wrong and will be crying in their boots when they miss the big move that's coming soon, as I mentioned, waiting for a deeper dip that never actually comes. Talk soon. This is Brett Fogle, and I look forward to seeing you in either Moonstream Academy or working with you privately one-on-one. Take care.